So, I mean, how is it impacting you? 6.99. And I'm sure this one you'll be telling us that, the policy rate has been reviewed
by 100 basis points.
100 basis points, so it's going to 14.5, and I'm sure we understand what that means.
Cost of borrowing.
And this was expected, wasn't it? Because our monetary policy is inflation targeted. So once inflation was going up, we expected the Bank of Ghana to react, and they reacted. And what that would mean, we'll find out more in the Joy Business Report with Darryl Kwao and the team.
Of soft loans out of 750 million cedis disbursed to businesses under coronavirus alleviation program business support scheme. Also, Bank of Ghana assures current depreciation of cedi will be brought under control, promising to take necessary actions to stabilize the local currency as the cedi maintains a relative stability for the past week. Also, increase in policy rate by Bank of Ghana to have mixed impact on the economy. We'll hear from an economist. Do stay tuned. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. Government under the Ghana Enterprises Agency has so far recovered just 1 million cedis of soft loans it disbursed to businesses which receive support as part of the Coronavirus Alleviation Program Business Support Scheme, also known as CAPBAS. The special fund with seed capital of about 750 million cedis was set up by government to cushion micro, small and medium enterprises from the impact of COVID-19. Speaking to Joy Business at a KPMG post-budget forum, Executive Director of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kosianke Ayes, said she was confident of high repayment of the loan.
The importance and the relevance of that to support the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Ghana and the youth of Ghana so that they can also find ways of getting meaningful and dignified jobs. So one of the things we talked about was what we've been able to do in the past and now. In the past, we had worked on the CAP Business Support Scheme, where government, under the President's direction, led the intervention of providing relief support for businesses that were suffering during the COVID. If you remember, we went through a process working with various financial institutions and working with various associations, and it's quite interesting to note that a year and a few months after, people have started making payments for the loan components that they took across the nation.
Meanwhile, calls for review of the e-levies set to be introduced by government was a major highlight of the KPMG post-budget forum. Head of Tax, Kofi Frimpong-Korir, expressed worry about government's intent to tax remittances whilst foreign investors get exemptions.
We have GIPC who continuously year in, year out do a number of ratios to drive FDIs. And I sit down here and I ask myself, what FDIs are more prominent than the remittances that our people out there give to Ghanaians who back home? Significantly, if I recollect somewhere last year, we were mentioning 3 billion and other things. And these are remittances that individuals resident outside the country are bringing into the country for their family members, for their children, or for their relatives. And some of these amounts go into businesses.
You heard Kofi Frimpong-Korir, who is head of tax at accounting and auditing firm KPMG. The Bank of Ghana has indicated that it will take the needed actions to firmly stabilize the cedi. This was captured in a statement issued after meeting to review developments in the economy. George Affe has the latest.
The central bank first admitted that the recent decision by some offshore investors to sell their bonds and demand dollars from local banks have contributed to the recent depreciation of the Ghana cedi. This is due to concerns about the fiscal outlook and whether enough measures are being taken to deal with the situation by government. The local currency has witnessed some continuous depreciation against the US dollar over the past 2 months. This is due to some concerns coming from some offshore investors and spike in dollar demand due to the Christmas festivities. The central bank was, however, quick to assure the public and businesses that there was no need to panic, with the country's total gross dollar reserves at $10.6 $8.8 billion that should help support 4 months of input cover. It is also believed that the decision by the Bank of Ghana to hike the policy rate could act as a confidence booster and compensate those offshore investors who were losing as a result of their investment in our bonds and help slow the recent exit. The cedi's depreciation has become so crucial now because of its impact on fuel prices at the pumps and the cost of credit, which has led the Bank of Ghana hike its policy rate by 1% to hit 14.5%.
George Afil, with that report on the currency market, the cedi has seen some relative stability in terms of its rate of daily depreciation. It's selling this morning at 6 cedis 26 pesos. It has been at that rate since last week. The British pound, on the other hand, selling at 8 cedis 44 pesos, and the euro going for 7 cedis 8 pesos. Now, economist Dr. Edusah Akodia says the increase in policy rate by the Bank of Ghana will have a mixed impact on the Ghanaian economy. According to him, whilst rising inflation and recent exchange rate pressures will be tamed, the expected rate of economic growth will reduce. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana yesterday adjusted upward the policy rate by 1% to 14.5%, the first time since 2015. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Sarkodie, who is with the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, said some actors in the economy will gain, whilst others will lose.
You also expect consumers to reduce consumption, make a substitution from consumption to investment, the other forms of investment, because in this case, other instruments like treasury bill and government bonds will have an increase in yield or attract consumers and businesses and even foreign investors into the country. So you expect the effect of that to reduce the depreciation of the cedi, increase exports, and then increase the yields on investment with the overall effect of reducing inflation. So obviously, the overall impact of this policy rate is that the government expects a reduction in the depreciation of the cedi, which will fuel exports, and a reduction in the inflation rate, but to have an adverse effect on the economic growth of this country. So it puts government's projection of the GDP growth rate into some doubt.
The thoughts of economist Dr. Edusah Akodia there. Meanwhile, the policy rate of the Bank of Ghana is projected to remain at 14.5% for the entire of next year. That's according to Fitch Solutions, research arm of ratings agency Fitch. It said the central bank will shift to a moderately aggressive monetary policy stance in 2022. Here's Charles Nexiyabwa.
In its country report for the fourth quarter of this year, Fitch Solutions said it expects the Bank of Ghana to keep its key lending rate, the rate at which commercial banks borrow, at 14.5% throughout next year as risk to the growth outlook fades. However, the forecast for the policy rate will remain well below the 2010 to 2019 average of 18.15%. The report stated that the regulator of the banking industry is mindful of the borrowing costs for businesses and consumers and the potential cost to economic recovery. It further pointed out that the central bank will shift its focus to inflation targeting and supporting the cedi as risk to the growth outlook reduces. The policy rate was increased by 1% to 14.5% by the Bank of Ghana yesterday, citing risk to inflation and exchange rate fluctuations as well as fiscal and debt sustainability challenges as reasons. This potentially will increase the cost of borrowing for at least the next 2 months.
Charles Nexiyabwa. Let's turn to the pumps because oil marketing firm GOIL has dropped prices of diesel and petrol by some 14 pesos effective this morning. This should mean that a litre of the two products will now be sold at 6 cedis 85 pesos. It's coming after GOIL increases prices over the weekend to 6 cedis 99 pesos a litre for diesel and petrol. According to the OMC, the reduction should be seen as a sacrificial one to help cushion consumers in these times. Any move by GOIL often shakes the market, therefore it's not clear for now how this might influence prices of the over 100 oil marketing firms in the country. Time to check the commodity market for you. Crude oil selling this morning at $79.08 a barrel. Gold gained $3, 73 cents to trade at $1,808.38 an ounce. Cocoa went up by $5 to trade at $2,588 a ton. In other stories, the Electricity Company of Ghana has expressed worry over deliberate attempts by some individuals to destroy its equipment in the Tema region, causing inconsistent power supply to customers. About 2 weeks ago, some individuals parading as ECG staff made away with a transformer at Pram Pram in the Greater Accra region after plunging the area into darkness. Tema Regional Engineer for ECG, Emmanuel Apo, disclosed this to Joy Business at a visit to a major power station at the Tema industrial area.
It is a big challenge to us because we spend a lot of money in doing replacements, monies which would have been used in developing the system and then extending the service to other people who will need them. We use them in replacing transformers that have been stolen by certain miscreants in the society. We will plead with our customers to be vigilant. We are done. They push down a transformer or put off a transformer, and then the people would think that it is an outage from ECG. And before daybreak, they would have taken whatever they want to take from the transformer away, destroying it.
And that's the Joy Business Report this morning. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Carl. Thanks for listening. And it's Kojo Yankson with more of the Super Morning Show. That's him right there in his seat. Good morning to you, Kojo.
Good morning.